It's been a while since my last upload, primarily because I've been preparing a letter for to respond to the council tax. If you've seen any of my other blogs, you'll see that I've been receiving letters from the council regarding my council tax. I was on benefits. Long story short, I incurred some um, arrears, should we say, in council tax because I say I was on benefits. I was on minimum amount of benefits, and I just couldn't afford to pay it. And as far as I'm concerned, if I'm on a minimum amount to live on, the minimum amount to live on or below, then I shouldn't have to pay it. I've been a working woman all my life, and I've paid my taxes. I had a critical, but not critical, a mental breakdown, and since then I've been having to slowly, gradually go back to work, and not in the same position. I'm doing part-time work now, which thank God, because now I've got time to focus on what's right and what's wrong in the world. Anyway, I worked on putting a letter together in response. So before I get to my response letter, for anyone that hasn't seen the council tax summons, I've got I'm going to do some split screen thing here. I'm not really good at using these things, so please bear with me if it goes wrong. I apologise in advance. My son quickly gave me a lowdown and done a runner. Right, so if I press 9, okay. This is the court summons that I got, and I appreciate it's probably a little bit illegible. I'm not sure, maybe you can blow it up and read it. But it just basically says that I'm being summoned to court and what the costs are going to be and whatnot. The actual signature, which are underlined in red there, you can see, that signature is from an assistant justice stroke justice clerk stroke designated officer. Assistant as well, that's a little bit fishy for a start. But a justice clerk forward stroke designated officer suggests a bit of a private arrangement, really, for me. But then also the signature isn't a wet ink signature and it's completely illegible. There's no name under there. I have no idea who signed it. So having phoned the magistrates court, and you can check that out, and that's an upload that I done. I phoned the magistrates court and asked them whether they had any record of me. None at all. So it's fairly obvious that this is a little bit of a hoodwink scenario. They're just trying it on. Anyway, I ignored it, and then while I was ignoring it, I wasn't really ignoring it. I was trying to work out what my position was. So I put it on the back burner and got focused on my position. Tried to look into what was going on. Found a brilliant website, get out debt free. I'm not plugging them for because they've asked me to. I'm plugging them because it's a brilliant site. Any advice you need, they're really helpful, and they give you a lot of templates. So anyway, I'll get this letter back, another letter saying that apparently the summons that was issued to me, to refer to the summons that was issued to me, and to confirm that a liability order. Oh, I'll put the next one up. Sorry. This is the letter where they're referring to said enforcement. So apparently, the court hearing has been and gone. They've made adjudication without me even being there. I think adjudication is the right word. Without me being there, and they've decided that to issue me with apparently a liability order. So I've not had a liability order. I haven't received anything. If they have posted it, it certainly ain't come through yet. And this letter, it's quite funny, really. The guy who apparently it's from, who apparently has signed it, it's not a wet ink signature again, so I doubt he's even aware. It's probably just a general issue thing. Anyway, the date on the letter is completely wrong. It's a whole year out. In fact, they've dated it the 20th of the 2nd, 2014. Yet they're referring to a court hearing that's already been and gone on the 18th of February 2015. Anyway, they're saying that apparently this liability order that I haven't seen was granted to South Essex Local Justice Area. That's a bit ambiguous, isn't it? The local justice area. Why not the magistrates court or the county court? You know, give me something, but the local justice area, not quite sure what umbrella that's covering, or anyhow, I must be advised that if I fail to pay £256.91 within 14 days, it is their intention, should we say, to issue the liability order to an enforcement agent for collection. This action will incur additional costs as detailed below. So then they've put down what the costs are going to be. Well, I've seen plenty of clips on YouTube of how these bully boys act, and I'm not looking forward to their arrival. I've got to say, it's going to be hard work to try and remind myself to have a bit of fun with it. A few deep breaths is going to be needed for sure. I can be a bit of a fiery character sometimes. So anyhow, like I say, the reason I've been a bit quiet is because I've been trying to put together a good response to the council. So this is what I've come up with. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit late in the game to be given the response, maybe because I've waited all this time, and these enforcement officers may well already have my name and address, and they may well already. But I'm not going to deal with the monkey when I can go straight to the organ grinder. There's no point in that. So I've written to the person that signed off the letter regarding said enforcement action. His name was Joe Chesterton, head of collections. So remember that, anyone from Southend, head of collections, Joe Chesterton. Anyway, I wrote to him, and this is the letter. Well, this is the first page anyway. I'll read it out to you. Dear Mr. Chesterton, thank you for your recent contact dated the 20th of the 2nd, 14, and I've just stuck in little brackets sick. I'm told that that's supposed to mean that when somebody else has made the error, you're just repeating their error. I refer to your claim that I've been issued a liability order. I would be happy to settle any financial obligation that I might lawfully owe as soon as I have received the following documentation from you. Please provide verification of your claim by providing me with true and certified copies, not photocopies, of the alleged liability order. May I also request validation of the debt, the actual accounting, verification of your alleged claim against me, a sworn affidavit, or a hand-signed invoice in accordance with the Bill of Exchange Act 1882. A copy of the contract signed by both parties and therefore binding both parties. Under that, I've put, I require this documentation to ensure that I am not engaging with fraudulent or criminal activity, since I have good reason to suspect that the alleged court summons and subsequent alleged liability order does not and has never existed, and would like to remind you that it is an offence under section 135 to 136 of the County Courts Act 1984, whereby it states that people pay attention to this. Any person who, their title of section 135 is penalty for falsely pretending to act under authority of court. So that applies to anyone who A, delivers or causes to be delivered to any other person any paper falsely purporting to be a copy of any summons or other process of county court, knowing it to be false, or acts, or B, acts or professes to act under any false colour or pretence of the processes of authority of any county court. Shall be guilty of an offence, and shall for each offence be liable on conviction on indictment to imprisonment of a term not exceeding 7 years. So I think basically what they're trying to say is anybody that's pretending to be acting on behalf of a court is liable for up to 7 years imprisonment. Then we've got 136. Penalty for falsely representing documentation to have been issued from a county court. Well, this is spot on, isn't it? Considering the court that they told me to attend has no record of me there whatsoever, this is really relevant. So, the penalty for falsely represented documentation to have been issued from a court is 1, subsection 1. It shall not be lawful to deliver or cause to be delivered to any person any document which was not issued under the authority of a county court, but which, by reason of its form or contents, or both, has the appearance of having been issued under such authority. Subsection 2. If any person contravenes this section, he shall, for each offence, be liable on summary conviction to a fine of an amount not exceeding level 3 on the standard scale. From what I gather, I think level 3 on the standard scale is about £1,000. So that means every offence that they've committed in a fraudulent act or to do with their paperwork. I mean, I've clocked up £2,000 for them just here with their paperwork here. What are they playing at? So, and then there's subsection 3, which says nothing in this section shall be taken to prejudice section 135. So then underneath that I've put that, therefore I hereby give you 10 days to reply to this notice from the above date with a notice sent using recorded post and signed under full commercial liability and penalties of perjury, assuring and promising me that all of the replies and details given to the above request are true and without deception, fraud or mischief. Your said failure to provide the aforementioned documentation within 10 days of the above date to validate the debt will constitute your agreement to the following terms. 1. That the debt did not exist in the first place. Or 2. It has already been paid in full. And 3. That any damages suffered you will be held culpable. 4. That any negative remarks made to a credit reference agency will be removed. 5. You will no longer pursue this matter any further. And 6. You agree to pay all fee schedules. Which basically means I'm going to start billing them. I'm going to start billing them for the correspondence and whatnot. So there we have it. I sent that off and recorded delivery today. It's dated with today's date, so they now have 10 days to respond. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. No doubt they're just going to try and baffle me with bull and hope that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I have done quite a bit of research and I think I can handle this one. I think I've got this one. Anyhow, I will update you on any further events, and there is a more cross saga that I'm also going to do and upload soon, so keep an eye out for that one. But and I'll give you an update on where I'm at with that, because I have mentioned that also. And anyhow, take care everyone, speak soon.